32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
The skies have parted in Tennessee. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nashville Super Speedway, the epicenter for country music and concrete tracks longer than a mile. Live from the virtual Nashville Super Speedway, it is the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series, presented by Racing Revolution. I'm your host and producer, Morgan Cook. Alongside me, as always, Alex Gagnon.
It's a pleasure to be back. You know, we weren't sure if this race was going to get in tonight. It was really coming down for a moment at Nashville, but the track crew has done a great job getting this place prepped and ready to go. And we will have enough time to sneak in this race here with this timely effort from the jet dryers.
Thank goodness for the Air Titans as they have the track ready for us here. The Music City 200 here from Nashville should be a thrilling race as always in this series here again on another Wednesday night. Looking forward to this one here in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to quickly recap what happened last week. If you saw it, you probably haven't forgotten it, or you purged it immediately. It's hard to say. New Hampshire was one of the races of all time. Certainly, Jeremy Burns overcame a 4-lap down deficit to win that event and extend his point lead to 91 over Tay McDonald. Maybe he makes it an even 100 tonight. Quite possible.
Certainly a possibility. I mean, you look at these point standings, and yeah, Burns has a massive gap at the front of the field, but you also look, say 5th, through 8th, 5th through 10th. I mean, there is still a lot of potential points up for grab tucked into these playoff positions here. And then with how close the cut line is right now, Grant Turner, Michael Bennett tied for that last spot. Jackson McGeorge just 4 points out looking in. John Fike within striking distance there as well. Starting to run out of time in the regular season, not a ton of races left, and even fewer on tracks like a Nashville Superspeedway where you're really in control of your own destiny. So you really got to make the most of tonight.
That is for sure. We're less than 10 races away. I believe 8 races from here is when we decide your playoff field. Let's have a quick look at Nashville tonight. 1 1/3 miles here. Interesting facility, definitely. Long straightaways, tight corners. Brakes going to be required to be fast here tonight without burning up that right front tire. The two ends of this racetrack, as Alex and I were discussing off the air just a bit ago, completely different. Turn 2, car's going to want to spin. Turn 4, you're probably going to pop the outside wall at least once tonight. It's just that close to the racing surface, and the car does not want to turn out of the exit of Turn 4 here at Nashville. Let's get into your race analysis. You see it on the screen.
150 laps here tonight. Pit road speed of 45 miles an hour right at the exit of Turn 4. Not the easiest one to get down to under green flag conditions. We'll have one stage tonight at lap 45 with 5 sets of tires available should they need it. And if it was anything like the real-life NASCAR race the other night, 3 green-white checkered attempts might be needed.
That is a look at the race tonight. Now let's get down trackside and look at your grid. But first, Coastal Financial Pole Award goes to none other than Jeremy Burns. There he is. Our mission at Coastal Financial is to provide comprehensive financial planning solutions tailored to each individual's unique needs and goals, with the aim of empowering our clients to make financially informed decisions and achieve their financial potential. You can find us at coastalfinancial.com or on Facebook at Coastal Financial. Thank you again for being the season-long sponsor of the Coastal Financial Pole Award and giving it to Jeremy Burns on many occasions. Now let's get into your grid. On pole, the aforementioned Jeremy Burns. Alongside him, Michael Bennett. Good starting spot for him. Starting 3rd tonight, Chris Nail in the 88. Tate McDonald will start 4th. 5th spot, Travis Gilbert in a new number. We're having issues with the session. Bear with us. 6th spot, Trevor Keith. 7th will be Alex Forget. Jackson McGeorge, that might be his best start of the season, in the 8th position. 9th spot, Brandon Dunford. First start of the season for him. Trevor Erhardt will start 10th in the 41.
Looking back to row 6, Nick Alves in the 24, rolling off alongside Justice Murphy in the 12. And 13th, it's the 02 of James Loveland, Carter Lins to his outside in the 6th position. Robert Rader rolls off 15th tonight, Matt Robinson to his outside in 16th. Daniel Holloway in the 21 machine, rolling off in 17th. 18th goes to Tyler Harrison in the 45. And row 10, it's the 18 of Jacob Sirkovich and the 7 of Peyton Presley.
21st, Caleb Gilbert, new number tonight. Michael Call, 22nd. 23rd, John Fike. Devin Hudgens, 24th. 25th, Grant Turner. Kevin Orlando Jr., 26th in the 27. Bresnock will start 27th. Kyle Diaz, 28th. Al Likens, 29th. And Philip Martin in 30th.
Then 31st, Brandon Richardson, Parker Johnston to his outside there. 32nd, 33rd, Daryl Johnson. 34th, Christopher Schaefer. And we're just about ready to get going here. Dustin Rysell, Jake Williams Sr., the tail end of your field tonight.
Into the restart zone. Green flag is out in Nashville. Looks like Burns is going to lead lap 1 from the pole. Battle is on for the 6th position. McDonald and Forget going at it. Forget on the bottom, McDonald on the top.
Yeah, that 19 car trying to work to the inside right now of Tay McDonald. McDonald sitting second in the points, looking for a good run here today. And I think the best way you can start it is when everyone's bunched up here on the opening drop of the green flag, try and get as many positions as you can. Let's jump a little further on back in the field here. Jacob Sirkovich in the battle with Peyton Presley, Caleb Gilbert, and a whole host of others as they go roaring back into turn one.
A couple drivers have peaked 3 wide so far. Just about had one there with Justice Murphy in the middle, did not materialize. Probably good for all the drivers that it didn't, especially off of 4. So that corner will get you in a hurry. Oh, that was a good lunge right there for Robinson. Almost got to the door of the 12.
Yeah, he probably had a little bit of help getting into that corner. Looked like he got pushed a bit to dive into the inside there. Didn't adversely affect anybody. And now the 1 car fully on the inside of the 66. This is the battle inside the top 20 as they run.
See the top side gets a pretty good run there out of turn 2. Lynn's going to pull them all the way down the straightaway and into the corner, position 66. Good wad of cars right here.
And this is all everyone trying to surge into the top 10. Nick Alves has that last spot in there. Everyone behind him's looking to take it away. Just behind him is Trevor Erhardt, Rob Rader. That's the battle for 11th. You see on your screen Justice Murphy, James Loveland in the mix as well. Early couple laps here, no one has really been able to get single filed. Everyone's still locked door to door with each other. As you see the 41 clear the 53. And jumping up there, Jackson McGeorge and the newcomer, Brandon Dunford. He is looking to the inside here. A good qualifying effort for the first time member of the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series here. And looking to try and score big in his debut.
Yeah, glad to have you, Brandon. Good showing so far. 6 laps into your opening race here. Glad to have you, and hopefully this one turns out as you hope out front. As everyone probably expected, Jeremy Burns leads the first 6 laps. Travis Gilbert right behind him, showing in the 341 on your pylon. Obviously 22 on the side of that car, as always. Technical difficulties with iRacing this evening, having issues putting servers up. This was, I think, the 3rd or 4th attempt to get one up tonight. We finally got it. That's the reason why this race was delayed, although it is probably raining in Nashville. It's hard to say.
Yeah, that's certainly a fair bet as we jump back here to Tay McDonald, Trevor Keith. A couple of guys in the playoffs right now looking for more. As you see the battle for 5th here, 15 on the outside, the 29 on the inside. Past couple weeks have been pretty good to the old 15 machine. And Trevor Keith looking to try and take a couple more spots away here, rolling that middle lane through turns 1 and 2. Something that you can do a little bit better in 1 and 2, I think, that you can do in 3 and 4 with how quickly that outside wall can jump out at you.
We haven't talked about Tay McDonald too much since the first 8 or so races of the season. He is still 2nd in points. So hasn't been a bad stretch for the 29 at all, as we got a car off the pace. It looks like Christopher Schaefer has had a bit of a moment this lap. Let's see if we can go back and find out why he has fallen so far off the pace. Loose out of 2. Great job saving that car.
Yeah, it's good save. Nearly put it up into the inside of Grant Thorpe in the 77 there. Luckily, he was able to collect it when it started going back up the track. And everyone gets away undamaged. And the 23, while he's lost a bit of time, still on the lead lap and still chugging along with no damage. As we're looking at this battle for the lead up front, Travis Gilbert has reeled in Jeremy Burns just a little bit. Did not have a great exit of turn 2, but got within 0.2 of a second, which is the closest anyone's been since the drop of the green flag here today.
Yeah, that is what the gap looks like from the back bumper of Jeremy Burns. Looking at his 2nd place rival right now. Good entry that 22 gets into turn 1, and they kind of maintain the center. 22 pulls him off the corner. Just a nice rounded corner for that 22. 341 on your screen. We'll see what happens here with Gilbert. Oh, great dive into the corner.
Yeah, that Travis Gilbert machine seems to be pushing right now, trying to force the issue on Jeremy Burns. Burns not a driver who I would say gets easily flustered when leading the races. He's got enough experience with it this season. But the 22 definitely applying some pressure here early, and the 88 of Chris Nail in third, not letting him get too far out the windshield as well. He's been hanging about 3/4 of a second or so off the leader most of the opening going, and if these guys start battling for the lead any more intensely than they are, it's going to let the 88 start to reel them in as well.
Well, it's getting pretty intense right now. There's a look at your leader. There's a request for more driver cams, so I hope y'all are happy with this. We're going to do our best here, as many driver cams as we can. There is your leader, Jeremy Burns. Right behind him is Travis Gilbert, obviously. Going to go for the lead here on the bottom of the racetrack. Might just get it here.
Too.
Burns fights back on the top side, down to the bottom once more. Goes Gilbert, 14 laps into this run, excuse me. See how good the top side is here off of turn 2. Pretty good.
It's looking pretty solid. Great run off the corner for the 9. He tried to come down in front of the 22. Travis Gilbert was not to be denied, though. Bit of contact between the two drivers. Puts them door to door again, and here comes Chris Nail onto the scene as well. Travis Gilbert was not going to let the 9 chop the nose off his car. Stuck it in there in turn 3. Nearly was catastrophic for them both, but they're continuing this side-by-side battle for the lead as they make their way once again back into turn 3.
Great battle here, 15 laps in. This should show you just kind of what racing this Nashville Superspeedway puts on. It's always been an exciting place to run, multi-groove, as you can see. And that's a new leader.
Oh, there it is.
With that lap to Gilbert. Ooh, not quite clear there. Self-clear. That's tough.
I wonder if the leader now looks at that as the way the 9 tried clearing them into 3 a couple laps ago. They've been running each other fair, but really, really tight in the opening going. You know, we're only 16 laps into this race, and already the 2 cars at the front of the field have nearly wrecked each other twice.
That is absolutely correct. Let's run through your field here pretty quickly. Early in this race, Travis Gilbert, your leader, of course. Jeremy Burns finds himself in second position. Chris Nail, great run for the 88. He is in the 3rd spot. Alex Forget finds himself in 4th. Michael Bennett, there he is, running in the 5th position. We got Tay McDonald back in the 6th spot. Trevor Keith is right behind him. There is Trevor Keith, multitasking the absolute best that I can.
So you're doing a fine job right now, pulling up all sorts of things on screen here. I'm just sitting back and being able to spectate.
There is Jackson McGeorge in the 8th spot. Newcomer Brandon Dunford running 9th, having a great run so far. Robert Rader finds himself in 10th, and he is leading an entire gaggle, is what I would call that. Nick Alves in 11th. Trevor Erhardt is 12th, and they're all checked up and bouncing off each other. Loveland, B-Speed's own, finds himself 13th. Carter Linz, Justice Murphy battling for 14th. John Fike behind them in 16th. Caleb Gilbert fighting with Holloway and loose on the top side. Oh, we got a car around.
Whoop! Matt Robinson down into the grass.
And back up on the racetrack, and I believe he is okay. Lost some time, obviously, but he should be all right here in terms of damage on the race car.
He shot down that backstretch there into the grass. Does not look like he hit anything, though, at least in terms of the wall. So that one car still looks relatively okay, but he did lose about 8-9 positions on track. You see, Kevin Orlando Jr. right now watching this battle between Holloway and Caleb Gilbert unfold. He might make it 3 wide off the corner here.
Oh, he tried. He thought about it.
And the opportunity was there, but he elected to go against it, and maybe for the best as he now finds himself on the inside of Caleb Gilbert as Holloway made his way.
This is the battle for 17th. About 5.6 back of your leader, Gilbert, who is pulled out to just about a half-second lead over Jeremy Burns. I've come to quite enjoy this racing facility. Had decent success here. It's fun to drive, multi-groove. Car doesn't handle well in one spot. You can move it up or down the racetrack. Fike almost got put in the wall by Murphy right there. If he had caught that, the backside of the screen. It's like Fike's going to try and make something happen here.
Yeah, nearly got really dicey between those two on their way into turn one. Fike ends up getting on by, and now is currently running just outside the top 15. Slow, steady charge forward. Already about halfway through the opening stage of this race. Stage break scheduled for lap 45. We're on lap 23 now. And we're looking a little deeper into the field here. I mean, there is still action anywhere to be found, no matter where you're looking at in the lineup right now. This is deep in the field, the battle for 29th. Grant Thorpe and Peyton Presley. They're the 77 and the 7. They've got Richardson and the 46 of Martin just behind them as well. So things getting a little stacked up behind the all the cars with the 7 involved right now.
And Philip Martin, do remind me, is this also his debut in this series? That's not a name I recognize.
It is not a name I recognize either, so I think that's a pretty fair bet to say.
Well, if we were wrong about that, Chad will be sure to let us know. But welcome, Philip Martin. If this is your debut, running in the 32nd position, doing what he can down 2 spots where he started.
Yeah, but he's in a good battle here with Richardson to try and get one of those back. As we're looking a little farther up, Kyle Diaz, Al Likens battling it out.
What happened to the 53? Oh, he's on pit road.
Rob Rader bringing it down pit road, more or less splitting the stage. Curious what the thought process is there for the 53. Trying to maybe flip the stage a little bit here.
That very well could be. Let's see a little back through the field here. Other drivers are going to make that turn to pit road. I don't see any at this moment. There's one, Robinson.
Robinson's going to bring it on down.
And so does the 18.
The Sirkovich machine. So about 3 takers for pit road that time by. I'm also noticing up at the front of the field, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th have all condensed into a small little accordion here. Burns,
they're coming to pit
Mail,
road.
And Forget. Oh, they're coming down to pit road.
Don't miss pit road. Oh, Robinson. Goodness gracious,
Bennett's
man.
going to drive it way wide.
Goodness
Tight
gracious.
moment there for a lot of drivers. You know, we talked right before this race got going that this is not the easiest pit road to get down to under green flag conditions, and that's exactly why. The banking coming off the corner and then trying to get that car slowed up from what you're running in the corner, you know, 140, 150-ish, down to 45 miles an hour, just gets the car so unsettled, and it is super easy just to overshoot it. And we nearly saw multiple drivers do it that time around.
There are a few drivers hitting pit road again. I can tell you why they're pitting, and it's the lap time fall off. 1 second after 28 laps. Put some new shoes on it. You just about have enough time to get back on the lead lap and gain time, assuming nobody else pits. That is an important move to make. Set yourself up for later in this race. But Gilbert continues to lead. That is Travis Gilbert in the 3-4-1, 22 painted on the side. He has led 13 laps so far. Justice Murphy hit pit
He
road.
is just cruising right now up at the front of the field after he went and took the lead away from Jeremy Burns. You know, 2nd and 3rd both came down pit road a few laps ago, and Travis Gilbert able just to kind of hang out up front. Bourget up a few spots now, up running P2. He's going to try to hold it out there with Trevor Keith holding down the provisional podium as they run here. I stand corrected, he's going to bring it down pit road now, as Tay McDonald will go on by and take over 3rd place.
Carter Lynn's going to lead this big group of cars right in front of the first driver to pit, I should say, Robert Rader. And we're going to see how much faster this 53 is. Just watch him as he gaps the 66 here. Just watch how much new tires mean.
Yeah, and it's always the corners where it makes the biggest difference. Look at how much he opened up. Doesn't help that the 66 was coming down pit road that time, but I think seeing the gap open up was what gave the 66 to, all right, yeah, it's time.
And at this point, it looks like the top 18 have yet to hit the pit lane. Everyone, Raider currently is leading the charge of drivers who have made it to pit road. That's over the likes of Jeremy Burns, who is right behind him, Trevor Keith, who was running in front of Raider, so you can tell that
Look at
undercut
this.
made it happen.
Orlando Jr., Grant Turner, they're on the lead lap. A lot of cars around them, though, on fresh tires, a lap down. Just an absolute hornet's nest trying to navigate into turn 1 here.
Yeah, this
Orlando
is sketchy.
bails out to the bottom side. Grant Turner trying to go up high. He's still on some of the older tires, though.
Yeah,
Same with Holloway.
This is super sketchy. Oh, he's in the outside wall. Oh, there's 2 people there. Goodness gracious. Let's take that one off. There we go. Trying to multitask, and it's not working. 8th spot, Grant Turner. Gripping the high line here, trying to make something happen. His drivers still peel off.
Oh, someone missed pit road.
I think that was Harrison. Just about missed it. He did miss pit road.
Yeah, it looked like he was way out into the grass of the infield.
Maybe it wasn't
That
him.
is not the way he's wanted to start this one here for the 45.
Let's have a quick replay and see if it was in fact the 45. Making that hard left-hand turn. No, that is not who I saw. I thought I saw somebody completely miss it. Oh, I think it was the 8, actually.
It might have been the 8. Yeah, there was some smoke and someone wide when we initially cut to that view.
And pit stop complete. For the 45. Forget now your leader. As the 341 has hit pit road.
Looks like just about everyone trying to cycle on through here before the end of this stage. Rob Rader, who was the first person to come down pit road around lap 25. You can see that 53 car now scored 11th. Only 10 cars yet to make their way down and make their stop. Although I think they might be having
4 of them are there right now.
here in just a moment.
Forget, Bresnock, Martin, Johnson all on pit road getting service. Call that 6 that have not hit pit road yet. Hudgens, Turner, Thorpe, Gilbert, Likens, Schaefer have not pit yet. That will change shortly as Gilbert took the turn down on the 54.
Despite the fact that there's still a few cars who have not come down pit road, they're still battling on track. Grant Thorpe and Grant Turner battling it out for second here. This is an interesting battle to watch unfold because not only are they racing each other, they're also figuring out when they need to make their way down pit road.
The answer is
You
right
see
now.
both of them going to dive to do so here.
Oh,
I think that's the
Turner.
84 of Devin Hudgens stopping
missed
as
it.
well. Grant Turner misses pit road.
This is going to cost him a ton of time.
The good news for him is that the stage break's coming up in a second. The bad news is he's lost so much time, there's no guarantee that he will be the free pass car.
He is currently the leader, so that's something. He has led a lap, so you can check that off the bucket list, but he's going to have a pretty safe pit entry this time, I would imagine. Schaefer just took the lead back from him. On to pit road, successfully this time. Give the lead to Schaefer, who's right in front of him. Now give the lead to Rader, who is being hounded by Mr. Travis Gilbert.
Yeah, Travis Gilbert may win this stage yet. He's on several lap fresher tires than the 53. And he has closed in on Rob Rader in a big way here. Might get a run off of turn 2, pushes it a little faster all the way out to that outside wall. And I think he might try and set something up here off of 4. Look at the dive-in speed from Gilbert. Had nowhere to go with that run. Had to check up a little bit, but is just right on the back bumper here. Certainly he looks to the inside.
You know what Gilbert's doing? He's downshifting in the middle of the corner. That's what that lift was. It's a quick downshift, drop it into 4th, power off the corner. And clearly that has worked out, but battle back. Says the 53. They're going to be side by side here into turn number 3.
Gilbert up
big
high,
time
Raider
tight.
down low. Bit of contact between the two. The 53 washed up just a hair. The 22 wasn't trying to give him any room. Led to a bit of contact between the two. Chopping the nose now repeatedly is the 22. Little mirror driving there from
He
Travis
just about
Gilbert.
turned him.
Oh, got tagged.
I think this is an example of one driver shifting and one driver not shifting. And right in the center of the corner is kind of where those two lines meet. I think that's why we got in the back of the 22 right there. But I think this battle for the stage win is all but over. 4 laps left here in this first stage. Gilbert out to a third of a second lead. But just look at how much faster he is off the corner.
Yeah, those fresh tires, once you put a little bit of clean track in front of them, really makes a huge difference. And it's not even wildly fresher tires in the 53. It's just a few laps.
8
But
laps.
that compounds, that little gap compounds every single time around. So that 8-lap advantage persists every circuit that they run here. And you can see how much that really comes into effect. I mean, he's getting a couple tenths of a second faster than the 53 every lap, and that just continues to stack up.
So coming to the stage, your top 10. Travis Gilbert is your leader. Robert Rader behind him in second. Trevor Keith. There's Trevor Keith. And then we got Jeremy Burns back here. There is Mr. Burns in the 4th spot. 5th is Jackson McGeorge. Behind him is Tay McDonald, John Fike, Alex Forget, Trevor Erhardt, and Justice Murphy. First driver on the outside looking in for stage points is Michael Bennett. So look at driver in 11th, who's only got a couple car lengths to go if he wants to get another stage point, or get a stage point, period. Those gloves.
Oh, Forget clipped that wall off of 4. Lost a ton of momentum in the process. Murphy gets on by. Bennett's looking to do the same here, and he will. So now Bennett holds the last stage point. Forget falls out of the points. And now he's got to deal with James Loveland.
Closest battle in your top 10. 98 catching up to Tay McDonald. I don't know if it's going to be enough time to do anything with 1 lap to go in the stage. Working underneath a lap car. Great run so far for Jackson McGeorge here. 8th to 6th. We don't say his name terribly often.
He's one of those drivers who's near the cut line, but on the outside looking in right now and in good shape to set up some stage points here and potentially a very strong finish if he keeps this up. That 98 car cruising inside the top 10, and there is the caution to signal the end of stage 1. Travis Gilbert will win the stage here from Nashville. I mean, went out, took the lead away from Jeremy Burns, and then through the pit cycle was able to get back around Rob Rader. That 22 and or 341 car looking real dangerous so far in the opening 45. That is a bad fast machine.
It absolutely is. Let's go through the rest of that top 10. Make sure we know where everyone got their stage points. Robert Rader, 2nd. Trevor Keith, Jeremy Burns, Tay McDonald, that's your top 5. Jackson McGeorge, we talked about him as he crossed the line in 6th. John Fike, good run for the 10. He is 7th. Trevor Erhardt, great run for the 41. It's been a tough last few weeks for him. Justice Murphy in the 12 will get 9th. Michael Bennett is going to get that last point in the 10th position.
It's also worth noting John Fike finishing 7th in that stage, up 16 positions from where he qualified. 23rd to 7th for the 10 machine. A sneaky fast start for John Fike here.
And Rader up 13 as well. So yeah, good eye on that. The biggest movers of the race are those two. Grant Thorpe actually up 17 before this pit stop. A lot of big movers here so far in this race. There you see the entire field peeled down pit road, save for the lap down machines. Obviously, they pit next lap.
Everyone just rushes into their box. Carter Lins hits the inside wall of pit lane and is too close to the wall for the crew to make any adjustments. 66 going to lose a ton of time on pit road here.
Drag race. Give it to the 22.
Looks like the top 5 going to get out how they started. Same deal with the top 8, top 10. About the top 12 or so at least. All same order that they entered pit road on. Tough break there for the 66. He lost a fair chunk of time.
Yeah, big loser out of that was definitely the 66. Tough to see that.
You know, after the way the race at New Hampshire went last week, Morgan, with like 5 or so cautions in the opening stage of that race, a clean pillar to the post 45 laps of green flag action here at Nashville. Very different change of pace, but a welcome one for sure.
Absolutely right. It's nice to see 45 laps green. Good racing. Also wasn't a parade per se. Just a solid run here, and it's nice to see that. Not that we're terribly surprised by it. It's been a great season all year long.
It really has, yeah.
At the schedule, I can remember all sorts of great races throughout. Remember Daytona was an absolute thriller, if I remember correctly. It was a great one. And Texas, there was a heist. I remember Carter Lins won that one off of some trouble, late caution. Was able to steal that win. Good run there.
The
Sonoma was great.
300-miler at Charlotte was one of my personal favorites from the season, as was that Sonoma race. Both of them a ton of fun.
Yeah, Richmond was a thriller as well. That was, remember, Robert Rader crashed from the lead, handed the win to Jeremy Burns late in that race. It's been a great season. It will continue to be a great season as we are about halfway through. Next week in Chicago, July 10th, right here, same place. We'll try and be on time. We can't predict the weather, but we can do our best. Then on to Pocono, Indy, and then a couple off weeks based on the Olympic schedule.
And there is, for the first time tonight, the choose cone.
I don't know if I have a good camera angle of the choose cone. That's okay.
That's not too bad. You can kind of see it through Barney's flag there.
Yeah, he's such a good flag man. The flag's always visible. Unfortunately, not what we're looking for at this moment. Yeah, so the choose this week, as you can probably tell, that was a violation, in fact. You got to have all 4 tires below where the yellow line meets the front of the restart zone. I don't know who that car is. That Bresnock? I don't know who that is.
I believe that was the 00
Yes.
Bresnock. That might end up getting reviewed by the old Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series stewards here.
Let's have a look here. There's a where that double white line crosses that solid yellow line, all 4 tires below it, and he drove right over it. That will be, I imagine, a violation.
I'd imagine it would be. So tough break there for the 00. But we are all stacked up and ready to get rolling once again in Nashville. Travis Gilbert, Rob Rader, your front row.
2 by 2, we roll into the restart zone. Late jump for the 22. Caught him sleeping a little bit.
Oh, look at the momentum that the 15 had, at least on corner entry. Wasn't going to be able to carry it through the center there, but he'll stay side by side with the 53 for second. Trevor Keith looking to take away P2 here and try and reel in the leader.
Oh, we got some issues back here. Bennett pushed it 3 wide, got big time tight underneath Fike. Still 3 wide.
That's the last place you want to be right now if you're Michael Bennett. You've also got Justice Murphy about to push it straight into the corner as well. It's not a great place to be if you're the 14 machine. Just trying to find some way to slide out of this, whether it is to the bottom or up high. Looks like he's going to cut in front of the 19, the 41 with a big move, though. Try and take away that spot from Bennett. I mean, there is just not a whole lot of anywhere to rumble right now. There is a lot of congested racetrack out there.
Absolutely is. It's tough stuff out here tonight. It's going to be hard to pass. It always is here in Nashville. Both lines pretty equal and both lines equally difficult. Battle for second has not changed hands or subsided quite yet. Keith on the outside, Raider on the inside. Raider going to get tight again, it looks like, at the lift out of the corner.
Yeah, the 53 seems to have just a little bit of trouble rotating when he's on that bottom side in 3 and 4. You see the 15 clears himself off the nose of the 53. That could have been really dicey.
Yeah, that's not going to make Raider happy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not. And if I have any idea here, it might be the 53 giving him a little reminder of what not to do here as they get into turn 3. But looks like cooler heads will prevail. And they'll settle in 2 and 3. Jeremy Burns, Tay McDonald, the 2 leaders of the point standings, battling it out just behind them for 4th.
Some great battles throughout this field. I'm going to highlight Tyler Harrison. At this moment, only driver who has the driver camo I haven't shown yet. There he is. Oh, Diaz, big
Kyle
slide.
Diaz sideways.
Oh, he's still sliding.
Oh, he's all around now.
We'll have a look at that. I think we'll all understand. And there he is, wrecked on the inside wall. Caution not out. Remember, he's in the grass. As long as he doesn't stop on the racing surface, we should stay green. Let's go back and find out why that spin took place. Off at 2. Stepped out. Then
just got loose.
I thought he had it saved, and then he just snapped around again. How bad's the damage? Oh, just a kiss. Nothing to be worried about.
And you mentioned at the top of the show there, Morgan, the exit of turn 2 is where cars can get real loose. I mean, the line to the outside wall, not exactly where you expect it to be. And just has the ability to put a little too much throttle in it coming off the corner. And that's exactly what we saw there with the 26. And to your point, it looked like he was going to catch it. But the moment he got back on track, it looks like the balance of that car got upset when it hit the banking of the back straightaway. Fike almost gets a push there from Jackson McGeorge.
That was a little past
car
almost.
Nearly got to get familiar with the outside wall.
That was a little past almost. He got some help for sure. He just did a great job saving that car. That could have been an absolute disaster for the 10. McGeorge, however, not gonna give him a break. Still fighting hard for the 6th spot.
Yeah, Fike has since gotten around the 98 from the restart, but doesn't look like the 98's all too keen about letting the 10 just drive off at that spot.
Still having good battles throughout this field. This is for 29th position. Gaggle of cars here. Ryan Stedel, Turner. Got Johnson and Martin involved as well. Al Likens a little farther back. Still all on the lead lap here. Only 2 drivers off the lead, or 3 drivers off the lead lap, sorry. That's Peyton Presley, Christian Bresnock, and Caleb Gilbert are the only drivers no longer on the lead lap. Everyone's still in this race, however.
It's just wild to look at all the action happening across this track right now. And knowing that we have not had any naturally occurring cautions, we've only had the one for the stage break. Obviously, the 26 goes around, but off the racing line. And that's something with these concrete tracks. You know, they're all a little bit self-cleaning, and that does tend to reduce the number of cautions that you'd see at some of these tracks, especially Nashville. The big infields on both the front and back straightaway. As you see right now, the 41, Trevor Erhardt trying to make a move on Jackson McGeorge. He was not giving up this fight for 6th with John Fike. 6th, 7th, and 8th all going at it. Oh, Fike gets real loose off the corner. Don't know if he had any help from McGeorge, but the 10 car really stepped out there coming off of turn 2.
Would you say he almost took flight?
He certainly did. That car was every direction except the way it needed to be facing.
Remember back to that thriller in Talladega called the Fike Take Flight. 250 or whatever it was. Great race. Go back and watch it when this one's over. Of course, we had a great battle here. 4 cars under a blanket.
Whoa.
Make it 6, make it 8. The field is multiplying.
The 98 car looked like he was trying to find some other way to carry that momentum he had closing in on the 41, but he was fully boxed in with Fike behind him, Murphy to his inside. That almost got really real spicy there for a second. And very quietly, look who's at the top, the one of Matt Robinson.
He had a big slide early in this race, if I recall correctly. Lost a lot of spots. Clearly some speed in the one machine. I think he might have just scraped the wall a little bit there off of turn number 2.
Some great action here in the back part of the top 10. Just everyone going at it right now for some of these positions. You see John Fike in the middle of this, trying to find some way to get involved with this Justice Murphy and Jackson McGeorge battle. Not really finding anywhere to go with it though. They'll just kind of hover in between the 2 cars, waiting to see how this unfolds.
Now, the tough part about running 2 wide is you don't know which lane to follow. There is no dominant line here. Nobody's really pinned to the inside or outside, and you can't really find that spot yet. You can see the 12 gets a great run through the corner, but the 98 hangs on his quarter panel all the way down the straightaway. Maybe this time we're going to clear. Looks like Justice Murphy will clear, in fact.
Justice Murphy now up to 7th. John Fike going to look to try and work his way back into P8 here. He's gotten a nose to the inside of the 98. And we're looking a little farther back. Big slide there for Dunford. He's now down to the apron. That was almost really bad there for the 28 machine. Now finds himself behind Kevin Orlando Jr. here, just at the tail end of the top 20.
I wonder how
A lot of cars starting to have some sliding issues here.
I wonder how he managed to make the car number on the outside of the car exactly twice the number of his iRacing session. Just thought I'd mention that for all you numerologists out there. Phenomenal battles all over this racetrack. I just having a great time.
Look at that.
Covering this race. Look at this. Like we're 20 laps after a restart, and we're still 3 wide.
Oh boy, Forget sticking it into the inside there of Johnston. Trying to make a pass back there for 14th. Alves and McGeorge battling for it now in 11th. Michael Bennett right in the middle of all of these guys.
Yeah, track's pretty hot too, 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Slick out here on this concrete surface, takes rubber pretty well. Decent amount of grip for how hot it is, but everyone's still right on the edge of control. Just trying to keep this thing pointed in the right direction.
That is easier said than done. They are putting on a great show right now. Bennett now to the inside of McGeorge, looking to trying to take away that 12th position here. The 98 qualified well, ran well in the opening stage, but seemingly having a little bit of an issue here to start the tail end of this, or as the second stage. You know, he was in around 6th or 7th. He's fallen back to outside the top 10 now. And is just very slowly but consistently losing ground to the field.
We're having some connection issues on Justice Murphy. Continues to hop from 7th to last to 7th to last. So keep an eye on that throughout this race. Drivers might not want to get too close to that 12 machine. Fear of getting caught up in an incident. This is a little farther back here in the 27th spot. Good battle here. Schaefer and Reinstedel doing work.
Yeah, nice little battle there between the 23 and the 11.
A couple drivers who don't get showcased probably nearly as much as they would like to get showcased here on V-Speed, Racing Revolution, Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. Doing a fine job here tonight.
That they are, and jumping up here, that is the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. Looking to the inside of the 98, maybe looking to the inside of Dunford as well. Going to settle in just behind them. Holloway thought about trying to step out around the 98, but he has this battle ongoing with Grant Thorpe, unable to do so. I mean, this battle just continues here. It was the tail end of the top 10 all the way to the start of the top 20. I mean, just all of these cars continuing to run. This looks like a race you'd see at Atlanta. It's how close they're all running together here at this 1.5 mile type track.
It's a pseudo pack race.
It really is, and it's kind of bizarre that it's turned out this way, but it has been rather compelling to watch these guys try and navigate their way through traffic.
And it has been an absolute fist fight so far in this race. Just drivers working so hard to try and get something out of these cars and gain spots. Riding on board here with Tyler Harrison, who's down 3 from where he started, but you can see all 3 of those spots right in front of him. You can see a lot more in front of him as well. A lot of spots to be had here with a couple good laps. Oh, car on the outside wall up there. Figure out who that was. Leave. Is that Kevin Orlando Jr. perhaps? Not the outside wall.
It is certainly a possibility. I'll be honest, I wasn't able to get a read on who I thought it was.
Could have been Forget as well. It's a green car, that's all I know.
Between him and Matt Robinson, there's a couple of takers up there for green and black cars. It looks like Forget gets out, maybe almost into the outside wall again. Alves and Bennett to the inside. On board here with the 19 machine of Alex Forget. He's down a couple spots from where he qualified, but in this rather fierce 4-car battle right now with Bennett, Alves, and Robinson. The 2 green cars taking that outside lane. Alves and Bennett to the inside here as they make their way down the back straightaway into turn 3. The 24 are going to once again dive it into the inside of the 1, battling for 11th.
Halfway through this race, this time by Travis Gilbert is your leader. Trevor Keith finds himself second, having a good run in the 15, continuing this little hot streak he's on. Kind of been this way since Iowa, if I'm not mistaken, right? 1 at 1 all the way out there. And
well, since Sonoma. He was runner-up at Sonoma.
Some good runs in a row for sure for the driver of the 15. Behind him, Robert Rader in the 53 doing his thing. Tay McDonald finds himself in 4th. Jeremy Burns, one that no one is surprised to see up in the top 5, especially after last week's heroic comeback, I will say. That was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen on iRacing. 4 laps down to winning the race for Jeremy Burns. 6th spot, Trevor Erhardt. 7th is Justice Murphy. John Fike behind him. We saw a lot of these 2 drivers fighting a little bit earlier. B-Speed's James Loveland having a good, another top 10 run like he was having at Loudon right before things kind of got away from him. 9th spot for Loveland. Nick Alves finds himself in 10th. Then you can see this absolute gaggle of cars. There's 5 of them packed together. That's
all in a blanket there.
That's 11th through, what would that be, 15th?
15, yeah.
All together. Can't tell exactly what spot they're all in because they keep moving them. So Bennett, Robinson, Forget, Orlando, and Dunford all packed together in this group.
I mean, this battle feels like it shifts between who's involved. But this essence of the battle just outside the top 10 has been going since we've restarted this race after the stage break, which was 25 laps ago. And they continue to be door-to-door duking it out with each other in this full big pack setting. And you finally get back to Grant Thorpe here in 16th, up 21 spots from where he qualified. He's on a warpath for the front of the field here.
Don't forget the essence of it all, of course. Parker Johnston back here 17th, leading another solid battle. Chris Nail, Daniel Holloway, Carter Linz, Tyler Harrison involved in this group of cars. That's, I think, 19th or so, 16th or 18th or 22nd-ish. Michael Call leading another little group. Justin McGeorge has been a real faller on this run, was up in the top 10, finds himself now in 23rd. Might have hurt the right front a little bit with all that 2-wide, 3-wide battling he was doing earlier. We got the 37 of Richardson. There he is. I think the car's hit pit road. Is that Philip Martin? Did, in fact, come down the pit lane. Dustin Reinstedt is 25th. Jake Williams Sr., haven't talked about him so far. He is 26th. Christopher Schaefer is 27th, recovering from that spin early in the race, or slide early in the race, I should say. Devin Hudgens in 28th. Al Likens, 29th. Kyle Diaz, last car on the lead lap. Philip Martin just pitted. There he is, one down. Bresnock, also one down. Peyton Presley is one down as well. So is Daryl Johnson. Grant Turner after missing pit road. Jacob Surovich, not sure what happened to the 18, who was very fast in practice. Caleb Gilbert is still two down in 37th position. We just saw Matt Robinson and Tay McDonald hit pit road. Those are the first takers on this cycle. John Flake now hits the pit lane. Trevor Keith. Gonna get busy.
Yeah, it is. This is about the time where everyone's decided. Time to make their way down for service, get some fresh tires on there. They're losing a little bit too much time on track. I think that might have been Bennett flying down to pit road there.
I see Diaz just made that turn.
There's Rob Rader. A lot of cars in this lead group of the top 10 all making their way down pit road. Parker Johnston nearly lost it coming on the pit road. He was able to save it.
Let's go back and have a look at the 48 coming to pit road. And he missed the stall too. That's not going to help. Oh, he really missed the stall.
Missed it wildly.
Here is the
pit
48.
road situation going from bad to worse.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. That was pretty. Oh, yes, he did. So that looked pretty good, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. Good call there, Alex.
And then, he was cruising down. It looked like he was all good and fine to hit his box, and then he got down and had the reverse about 4 pit stalls.
That's right.
To actually get to his spot. So a tough situation on pit road there for the 48. Going to really sink him down into the field here.
Top 7 have not hit pit road yet, as you can tell on the ticker. Forget's going to go down.
To be a lot less, a lot of takers.
Chris
nail sideways.
Save that thing.
Trying
Good
to
job.
catch it.
Well done.
Harrison and Holloway make light contact, trying to avoid the 88.
Williams is there
All
as
of that's
well.
going to cost him a little bit of time.
So is Lycan. So everyone now has hit pit road. He's going to hand the lead back.
As the 25 of Chris Schaefer.
Oh, except for Chris Schaefer. Good catch. Good catch.
The lone car who has yet to come down pit road. Certainly he's got to come down sooner rather than later.
Ooh, that was.
He
missed the entry.
He thought about doing it there. No way that was going to work from the middle lane, though.
Especially with the car to the inside. He tried it, just did not work. This is going to cost him dearly.
'23 trying to play the strategy card with the overcut and going to lose a ton of time in the process. Oh, he seems to be really down on power.
He might be out of
here,
gas.
or fuel. He might have stretched it as long as he could.
I mean, that last group had that entire top 6, save for Schaefer, hit pit road all at the same time. Leads me to think they were right on their fuel number. As this 23 is awfully slow around the pit lane. Around the access road, I should say. Might not get to the box.
Well, good news for him. He qualified toward the back of the field, so he has an early box. He just needs to be able to roll a few pit stalls here.
It's going to be tight.
Oh, boy, but he is really laboring.
Yeah, this is not good news. Will he make
Inching
it?
into his pit box.
Yes, he will.
And he is going to make it. So the battle will continue here for Chris Schaefer. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll lose at least another lap from how long it took to get back to his pit stall, but better than having to get that thing towed back to pit road.
Yeah, any track position he just worked his way up from that spin, it's gone now. That's going to be probably 2 down. He just goes 1 lap down right here. And his stop has not been completed yet, so add him to the group of Peyton Presley, Christian Bresnock, Caleb Gilbert, and Schaefer will be your cars 1 down in this race. Nobody has left the session yet, which is great news, obviously, as we have had no cautions other than our stage break, which happened 45 laps ago. working lap number 89, coming to 90. There it is. Rolling through this race.
Yeah, I mean, we are absolutely flying right now, despite having to need the jet dryers out there to get this thing going at all. The drivers are making up for the lost time here. They're doing a absolute speed run of the Music City 200, if they can help it. As we're looking here, Dunford and Alves, nice little battle going on inside the top 20.
And this is the battle for 14th. About 9 seconds back of your leader. We stretch it out to almost 1.5 over operator. 2.5 over McDonald. Gilbert's really got him covered today.
That he does. You know, he had a lot of speed at these past couple races and just hasn't been able to convert. Today, though, seems like things are really going in favor of the 22, and because of it, I mean, he is just absolutely demolishing the laps led count right now. I mean, he's been out front for just about every lap of this race so far, leading 67 of the 92. All it took was him needing to come down and get around Jeremy Burns at the start, and after the pit cycle, getting back around Rob Rader. And he has not looked back since.
No, he has not. And this is a continuation of last week. Remember, at New Hampshire, he was one of the fastest cars. Went up there, led some laps, caught up in an incident, and obviously the pit cycle did not work for him. Kind of put him behind the 8 ball. Oh, big contact for the 84. That looks like a day ender. That tire's not supposed to point that way. Let's go back and
see
find
what
out.
happened to the 84 of Devin Hudgens here.
Oh, big issues
Ooh,
here.
A little bit of contact there potentially with Parker Johnson or Daryl Johnson. He's in this battle with McGeorge and Grant Turner. Very dynamic group of racers here.
A little bit of help.
Oh, it
from
starts with the
McGeorge.
98 and the 49.
Oh,
And
84
then there's
right
nowhere
in the
for the
back of him.
84 to go.
Yeah, those are the hard ones, right? When someone's spinning in front of you, you don't know where they're going to go, and they just stop right in front of you. Nothing you can do. Let's have another look at it from the roof. And bang.
Yeah, what's really tough is you see he's in the middle lane, and the way the 49 begins to spin, you think he's going to move up the track. So the 84 dives for the yellow line, trying to get under him, but the 49 does a really good job of locking it down to avoid sliding up into traffic. But, you know, both of them making that split-second decision at the same time means they both met each other at the apron.
Yeah, tough break, obviously, for both those drivers. That's the second time, I believe, we've seen Jackson McGeorge get in the back of a driver middle of the corner like that. So that might be something that drivers
The first time today was John Fike, but Fike was able to catch it.
That's right.
Daryl Johnson not as lucky.
That's right. Different corner as well. Obviously, Fike got a little bit of help. I believe it was in turn 3 that happened, if I'm not mistaken. Be a little easier to save
right, yeah.
Might be a little easier to save a car down there in turn 3 as the exit widens rather than narrows. But that could just be me taking a guess at it. Hard to say. Still great battles all over this racetrack. I can't say that enough, how well all these drivers are doing. To run this far caution-free, obviously we've had an incident that didn't trigger a caution, but we've had very few scrapes with the wall, car contacts, whatever have you. It's been a pretty solid race so far, and a lot of close battles throughout this field. A lot of drivers lined up right here.
Look at this little chain of cars here. Nick Alves, Grant Thornton, Michael Bennett, Brandon Dunford in the mix as well. Kevin Orlando Jr. not too far behind. All these cars battling. 13th on back here. Tell you what, this has been the best place to be if you're looking just for action and battling on track tonight. This like 11th to 17th range feels like it's been battles all night long. As we jump a little farther back here, this is Michael Call, Grant Turner battling for 20th.
Looks like Turner's going to get that spot, make it work. A little older tires for Grant Turner. Interesting he's able to make that pass. I think he was the first driver on this cycle to hit pit road. He net gained him some positions. He's up 5 from where he started.
Yeah, that 39 car has been, he does have the lap lead, but you got to remember he also missed pit lane during the one green flag pit cycle, which means if he had not had that issue happen, how much higher up in the running order would the 39 be right now? As the 89 just comes up and I think doored the 39 there going into turn 3.
I think I just saw what are you
got a little
doing.
too much of it.
I think I just saw what are you doing come out of Grant Turner's mouth as his room is on fire.
I can't say I blame him all that much either. He was just running up against that outside wall. The 89 comes in looking for the side drive. Yeah, the you can tell the 39 not too happy about that. Ultimately, though, it's only going to cost him. He slides up the track, loses out to Chris Nail. Tempers are starting to flare a little bit here. Just as this race has gone on, people keep, self-clearing or the occasional little shot here or there, and I can't imagine too many drivers are thrilled with it.
No, I would think not. 50 laps to go here at Nashville. Travis Gilbert, your leader. We got cars on pit road again. That's the 18. Robert Rader in second. Hey McDonald, third spot. Good run for second place in points. Trying to make up some space here on Jeremy Burns. TK finds himself in fourth, and he's just having a good time as always. There he is. Got Schaefer trying
Looking
to get by
nice
him.
and nice and comfortable there running P4 at the moment.
He sure is. He sure is. Ripping the high line and making it look pretty easy. And behind him is Jeremy Burns, who has been running fifth for the vast majority of this race. There's Jeremy.
Yeah, that just seems to be the spot he's been in since about 20 laps into this race. And he qualified on pole. We know he has some very good short run speed, but maybe just a long run car, a top 5, but maybe not a race winning car at the moment, as he has not really been able to make a ton of forward progress since we've gotten going again from the stage break.
Herbert Erhardt finds himself in the 6th position. James Lovewood moving up 6 spots, finds himself in 7th place. Alex Forget has rebounded not too bad to 8th. John Fike falls back a couple from where he was just running, still up 14 on the day. 9th position for John Fike and Matthew Robinson. In the 1, still running the top side. I think he's been running that high line since the green flag dropped, although he may just lose the spot to Grant Thorpe, who's directly to his inside.
Yeah, he also lost out to Justice Murphy here. That 12 car, now the last car inside the top 10, as he got by on the inside. The 1 way up the track there in 1 and 2. Going to lose out some time. Nick Alves going to sneak on by, as is Michael Bennett.
And Bennett's going to go
Bennett going to make
wide.
it 3 wide.
How do you do? Says Michael Bennett. A little tight off the corner, a little push loose, in fact. You get a good shove down the straightaway. See if he can make it work here into turn number 1. Think he's going to clear so he can slide up. Yeah, give him the spot, 12th spot, Michael Bennett.
Now, he is down from where he qualified, but still a pretty solid run so far for the 14 machine. After he fell back to around that 10th spot, that's been more or less where he's been running most of this race. Oh, as you see, Robinson and Dunford heavy into the outside wall.
Yeah, Robinson popped it pretty good. Nick Alves ahead of him at 13th. Robinson, we just saw him pop the outside wall out of turn 4. Talked about the top of the show. It's going to be an issue the later this run goes. He is in 14th. Dunford also caught a piece of it in 15th. Kevin Orlando Jr. did not hit the outside wall. He is in 16th. This little battle here. Going to get closer to the top 10. Philip Martin having a great run in the 17th spot. Carter Lynn's right behind him in 18th. Chris Nail was having a good day, had that tough pit road entry and lost a lot of spots. He is now 19th after starting 3rd. Jackson McGeorge has been busy, battling, I think, with every car out here. He is 21st. He's been outside, inside, 3 wide. He's been doing it all here tonight. Just got passed by Tyler Harrison. There's a look at a relaxed Tyler Harrison doing work in the 20th position.
Just cruising now into turn one. He's got the 98 behind him, and then the 21, Daniel Holloway, or Dylan Holloway. Is it Dylan or Daniel? I'm having a stroke up here in the booth mentally right now.
It is Daniel.
Daniel Holloway. Okay, had it right the first time. Don't know why I thought it was anything else.
You call him Daniel. I call him the Candyman.
Yeah, there you go.
Easy enough. He is 22nd. Michael Call finds himself 23rd. Ryan Stedel. Austin Ryan Stedel is 24th, up a bunch of spots where he started. In fact, they match his car number, 11. Grant Turner has had an interesting day so far, led a lap, also found himself missing pit road, 25th, exactly where he started. Al Likens behind him, ripping the top side, trying to get around some of these lap down cars into the outside wall. In fact, is Al Likens
ripping the outside a little too hard there.
Little too much gigatus into the outside wall. Jake Williams Sr. to his inside in the 51, down or actually up spots where he started. Did we just lose Travis Gilbert? Oh boy, did we just lose the leader?
Travis Gilbert coming down pit road.
Oh, I see. I thought that was a connection issue. Okay, leader on pit road. Richardson, 28th. Kyle Diaz is 29th. Resnock, first driver, one lap down. Parker Johnston, Aiden Presley, Daryl Johnson, Cirkovich, Caleb Gilbert, Schaefer, all multiple laps down. Devin Hudgens out of the event so far. Are you sure he's down pit road? I don't see the 341.
He's now scored a lap down.
I think he might have left the session.
29. It's possible. It looked like he was just going on the timing table as normal, and it wouldn't have shocked me if he had made a stop about 37 laps or so from the end of this race. You can stretch that to the end.
I don't see him anymore. I'm not sure what happened to our leader. We'll have to hear about that from Travis Gilbert later, but he has currently scored, as you say, 2 laps down, not showing on my timing and scoring as in the session anymore.
Oh boy.
That would be one of the all-time tough breaks, I would say.
Because he was, by far and away the dominant car out here today.
Absolutely,
no one was touching him, but yeah, now he's scored 3 laps down. Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, Raider, your leader, will inherit that lead. Trevor Keith can move up to second. Tate McDonald, Jeremy Burns, James Loveland, your top 5. Yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah. Especially because, now obviously Raider still has a big gap over Trevor Keith, but let's say there is any kind of caution and this field gets grouped back together. It's going to completely throw this race on its head as you see Trevor Keith now looking to the inside of Tate McDonald. But now got a piece of the wall off of 4. The car that was by far and away the fastest in the field today, no longer at the front of the field. And that seems to be a running theme the past couple races for Travis Gilbert. Has a ton of speed and just has not been able to be there at the end. A lot of times for something out of his control.
The driver's on the pit lane.
Martin coming down pit road. Matt Robinson, Jackson McGeorge. Final green flag pit stops underway, I think, for some of these drivers.
And Trevor Keith on the pit lane as well. I was a little bit behind on my video. Apologies for that. Trying to go back and find out what happened to your previous leader. Left us a little bit out of the loop, but we are back now.
No surprise here as Raider comes down pit road a lap after Trevor Keith did, trying to prevent him from getting any sort of major advantage on those new tires.
Loveland's going to lead this lap. I think that's the first one of the day for the 0-2. There it is. Should help in the points.
Absolutely.
I believe this puts them in their window to make it to the end as well, if I'm doing my math correctly.
It should be able to stretch it to the end of this race. You see the 51 coming off of pit road here, Jake Williams Sr.
So is Dunford.
Dunford just getting off of pit road.
Loveland's on
Loveland
pit
and
road.
Erhardt now down pit road here.
Give Bennett the lead. Look at your leader. I'm sure he wants to see this, as he was the one who requested more driver cams. Follow him until he hits pit road, which I believe will be this lap.
Just out of spite, he's going to stay out another 3.
Yeah, just out of spite.
Not
Well,
for the
it's-
optimal strategy, just to...
Just
he
out
does
of
actually
spite.
stay out this time
He
around.
does stay out this time. This is going to be 2 laps led for the 14. Would we really be out of spite if I put somebody else up here and not him? That would just be rude. Good run for Michael Bennett, been up in the top 15 this entire race. Harrison's on pit road. Holloway and Likens move up into the top 3. Looks like it's just the top 3 who haven't not pit yet.
Maybe top 4 with Chris Nails.
Chris Nails on pit road
well,
at the
but-
moment.
Oh, he's on pit road actively.
There he is right
so-
there.
Yeah, now it is just the top 3. And Rob Rader looks like he lost some time
Bennett's on
to
pit
Trevor
road.
Keith to the tune of about 2 seconds. Still has a 3-second advantage over the 15 of Trevor Keith, but that gap just a little over half of what it was before the pit cycle.
Yeah, you can see just how far ahead Rader is. Rader at the finish line right now, I believe. That's a pretty big gap. Burns will retain 4th. Hey, McDonald. Actually, I think Burns got McDonald on that sequence.
He did, yeah. The 29, you know, he would love to finish ahead of Jeremy Burns here. Even if it's just by a position, help start reel in the gap to the points leader just a little bit.
Every
right now,
point counts.
Staring at the back bumper.
Likens on pit road. That was your leader. Gonna hand lead back to Robert Rader. Good battle back
He's got
here.
about 3.5 second advantage over Trevor Keith. We jump back to Grant Turner.
Turner and Johnson.
He's currently battling with the 49 machine, although they are not on the same lap. And now jumping up, Matt Robinson, Justice Murphy, Kevin Orlando Jr. This battle happening just outside the top 10. '27 machine up 13 from where he started. Solid run forward for the old starry car there.
Absolutely is. It's exactly what you want to see on a day where you might not have the speed to go out there and contend for a top 5. Being outside the top 10, maybe a little good execution might get you up into the top 10 here to finish this race out, as we are about to be 25 laps to go next time by. This race has absolutely flown by.
Yeah, really.
Definitely a sharp contrast from what we had last week, which I think every driver in the field is glad to see. There were a lot of not terribly happy drivers last week for a variety of reasons. I think you could probably watch that race for yourself and draw your own conclusions from it. The drivers out here been very clean and green so far tonight. Battle back here, 25th position. Diaz working over Jake Williams Sr., Brandon Richardson. And they're just about to be lapped. See the leader not too far behind them.
You also got a little interesting battle forming, I believe, for 7th with Grant Thorpe and John Fike. The two of those guys running real close to each other right now. Fike looked like he made a passing attempt for 3 and 4, wasn't able to get it to go.
Forget not too
And
far
now the
behind as well.
77 trying to hold on to what would be a plus 30 position day for that Tennessee machine if he can hold on to P7.
Yeah, that's the kind of day you want to have. You want to be able to say, I passed 30 cars to finish in the top 10. In a league as stacked with talent as this one, that is an absolutely terrific day. Let's see if he's able to do it. He's got a couple hungry cars right behind him. Hungry horses, so to speak.
Yeah, really. Got a mirror full of John Fike right now, who's just waiting for the opportunity to try and pounce on the 77 here. The 19, a little bit of a wiggle off at turn 2, but still within reasonable distance here to make this little 3-car tango.
Don't look now, though. The battle for second is a three-car battle now
look
as
at
well.
This. McDonald to the inside of Jeremy Burns.
You got him.
He will slide on by. And the 29 will help incorporate the first of many needed point swing here to try and get back into the hunt for the regular season crown against Jeremy Burns. Taking a couple points away from the 9, adding them to himself.
Yeah, that's a 2-point swing right there. -1 for the 9, +1 for the 29. Moving in the right direction point standings wise, as they still run 3rd and 4th respectively behind Raider and Keith. You can see Keith right in front of them. Closest battle on the racetrack right now, Kevin Orlando Jr. stalking Matthew Robinson.
It's about to be a little bit more than that off of 2 here. He has a run to the inside of that 1 car. Here comes Orlando Jr. to the inside, going to get down toward the apron here in 3 and 4. Robinson running that middle lane, just can't get that car the corner the way he needed to. Orlando Jr. will slide up and try and limit the options down the front straightaway, and he'll take away P12 there. Nice little example of what it takes to make a pass here at Nashville. You just got to set it up the corner before, get that momentum, and then really drive it in deep when you need to.
And no crossover opportunity there. Forget trying to work on Fike. Might just get there with 20 laps to go. A little outside wall contact for the 10.
These two guys having a little bit of a different day. Forget qualified in the top 10, hangs around the top 10 most of the day. Meanwhile, for John Fike, goes on an absolute tear in the opening stage, getting up 16 spots, and then kind of just flattened out a little bit once he got into the top 10 after the stage break, but still going to be a really solid points day for him if he can hold on to this over the last 18 laps or so. Currently up 15 places from where he qualified, and putting together a nice little battle here with Alex Forget in the dying laps of this race.
We get a little help.
Oh, a little bit
we
of
got a lot of help.
Oh, he just tagged him.
A lot of help, and Fike is around. No wall contact. He's going to go all the way back to the racetrack. However, caution not waving yet. Let's see.
Did I just jinx the 10?
I don't know if you did. I think it might have been the camera work. But let's go back and watch. Different angle. What happened to the 10?
If I had any jinxing power in that, I apologize profusely. Just talking about how good of a day the 10 was having if he could close it out. And then gets a lot of help from Forget coming off of turn 2. Some would even say maybe a little too much help.
Little too much help indeed. That puts Fike back to the 21st position, which I believe is still higher than where he started. But yeah, that top 10 with only just over 15 laps to go, probably a little unattainable at the moment. Best battle on the racetrack. Bennett, Robinson. No longer a battle. Field spread out quite a bit here.
Yeah, they've opened things up. It took them, granted, several pit cycles and nearly 90 laps from the stage break to finally spread out a little bit, but it does seem to be the case in the closing few laps of this race. Justice Murphy and the Brandon Dunford machine there just behind him, 9th and 10th. This battle has been a very quiet but very successful Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series debut there for the 28, or 56, depending on how this time in Tower wants to put it together. We've had a couple numbers who aren't going to match here tonight, strictly from the jet dryers having to come out there resetting Nashville for us, and some technical difficulties making that happen along the way.
Yeah, it has been definitely an interesting night. Obviously, this entire broadcast got off the ground about half an hour later than it was scheduled for. Just some technical difficulties with iRacing itself, server-side stuff not working out the way it's supposed to. Sessions go up, sessions don't or can't get joined. on the league side of things. We had to move a little stuff around on the back end, and we got it up finally. Well done to the admin team here, including Kevin Orlando Jr., who's keeping us updated the entire time as he battles for 11th. Thank you to everyone making this race happen, as we are just over 10 laps away from our scheduled distance. Robert Rader continues to lead. This will be his 25th lap led here at Nashville.
Yeah, and this, oh boy, little scrap going on here outside the top 10. Kevin Orlando Jr., Nick Alves. Heavy battle ongoing here for the 11th position. Looks like Orlando Jr. might be able to take it here off of turn 2, and he will. Michael Bennett, though, going to look to the inside of Alves. The pressure just unrelenting right now for the 24. Trying to hold on to the solid run that he's had all day here today.
This is
Now he's got Bennett to his inside.
We still have the top 10 here. 11th through 14th involved in this battle. Matthew Robinson going to join these guys here shortly. A little tight for the one. Looks like he's going to be all right, but Bennett's taking the fight to the Starry machine. We talked to him pre-race, Kevin Orlando Jr. He said he's going to keep that Starry machine because it's become somewhat, huge wall contact.
Oh, heavy contact. Alves into the inside infield.
There's Alves.
Looks like he's going to be able to keep it back in one piece, but once again, and this has been the case a couple times here tonight, where if the incident does not block any part of the deemed iRacing racing line, which is just the paved part of the track, the yellow flag is typically not thrown from iRacing because there's no blockages to the physical racing surface. And that is why, despite a couple of those incidents happening tonight, we have not had any naturally thrown yellow flags outside of the stage break, because all of these incidents have been down away from the racing surface.
Yeah, it's got to occur between that blue wall on the outside and that yellow line there on the bottom. Those drivers are all trying to paint. Car has to be stopped, or at least very slow on that surface, as Alex was mentioning, or else there will be no caution flag triggered. Just like in that case, slow car was in the grass, not on the racing surface. A-OK in iRacing's eyes. Under 10 to go. Robert Rader leads by 3 seconds over Trevor Keith. A. McDonald not too far behind.
We'll say, to Trevor Keith's credit, this is about the closest he had been his entire last chunk of the stage here, within 3 seconds now, but simply going to be far too little too late for the 15 machine. But to your point, James Loveland running 4th, Jeremy Burns running 5th right now. That is your top 5. They've shuffled around a little bit, but those have been more or less the guys. Trevor Erhardt currently scored in the 6th position, just ahead of Grant Thorpe, who is up 30 positions in that 77 machine. Alex Forget currently scored in 8th, just ahead of Justice Murphy, and a debuting Brandon Dunford.
A solid top 10 here today.
Oh, a bit of a wall contact there for Bennett.
Be 6 laps to go, and Bennett is, don't look now, he is stalking the debutee Brandon Dunford. That gap is closing by about a 10th a lap. We'll have to watch out for that here in the last 6. I don't think he gets there, as he had a tough turn 2 exit. But things are possible. Best battle right now, Paul Richardson is one. Lynn's Nail is the other one.
Looks like those two guys were going to make contact with each other off of turn 2 a moment ago. But Chris Nail will slide on by the 66 here. The 88 now up to 17th. Meanwhile, back here, Richardson and Michael Call. This battle happening a little deeper in the field for 25th.
And they're getting lapped as well. Don't forget that's your
yeah.
leader, Robert Rader, in the 53, just doing work right now.
A lot of lap traffic for him to contend with right now, though. Will that slow him down at all and let Trevor Keith close in a bit?
Well, with 5 laps to go, he hopes not. Gap is down to 3.1. It was 2.8 there, just a second to go. Raider has cleared the heavy traffic. Battle back here. Loveland got around McDonald. That's third spot for the V-Speed driver. A little late
If
life.
he can hold on to it here, it'd be a podium finish for the 0-2. Dave McDonald, though, not going to let him get away just yet. That 29 machine definitely could use a podium of his own here. After the past few weeks, it's been for the 29, so a very critical third place battle on display with only a few laps to go here from Nashville.
This is the battle for third spot. Closest battle on the racetrack. Apparently, rephrase that. Closest battle in the top 10 on the racetrack. Be more accurate. This occurs about 4.85 seconds behind the leader. 3 laps to go.
And that's going to be 2 when Rob Rader hits the stripe here. You know, the 53 was one of the faster cars today. I don't know about necessarily the fastest. Travis Gilbert had a wicked fast car through the opening 110 laps of this race. And then when the 22 was off the track, who was there to inherit the lead? It was the 53. And boy, has he made the most of that opportunity. The moment he took hold of that lead, he has not looked back.
Coming to the white flag, presented by Erhardt Homes. Love where you live. Robert Rader 1 and 1/3 mile until he claims another checkered flag this season.
We'll have one more lap car to contend with here in Kyle Diaz. With a 3-second gap, not anything to worry about there. Back to second place, and here he comes off of turn 4.
Off of turn 4, Robert Rader is going to win in Nashville.
Little shimmy across the line there from the 53. Solid run for the 53. Qualified 15th, takes home the victory. Leads 38 laps in the process. And he will finish ahead of Trevor Keith, who, I tell you what, that 15 machine has been pretty consistently in the podium spots here these past few weeks.
Absolutely has been. That's going to be one to keep an eye on here the rest of the way through the season. But all eyes on Rob Rader right now. About to do some burnouts here. Everyone's favorite part of the broadcast. Going to get that picture. Teammate Jeremy Burns. Going to go through the grass? Maybe not.
He said, all right, I'll see you later.
Here
Trevor
are
Keith and James Loveland.
your top 3 for their customary photo. And you're going to see your winner burn it down. There he is.
Gonna take this thing all the way back to the start-finish line and more.
Yeah, he is working those front tires, that's for sure. There's a look at him right there. Your winner, Rob Rader. When he's done with his burnouts, we're going to bring him up here in the booth and have a quick chat with that driver. Had a great day today. Led 38 of these laps. Started 15th, pretty deep in the field. A lot deeper than I think he was expecting. And made it count. Worked his way up here to get the win. Right now doing the Polish victory lap. Must have been an Alan Kulwicki fan. Why don't you go find him, Alex? Let's have a chat with our winner here tonight.
Alrighty, bring him in now.
Be the problem.
Rob Rader.
Yes,
got a
sir.
copy?
I got you.
I guess I'll go. Well, fantastic race. Obviously a little bit delayed due to the weather down there in Tennessee. You started 15th, and you worked your way up to the front. Obviously had issues there with the 3-4-1. Travis Gilbert kind of dropped out of this race midway through. Before that moment, what did you have to do to get up and catch that driver who was running away with this race?
Yeah, that sucks for Travis. Feel sorry for him because he probably had it locked. It was going to be really difficult to pass him. I was basically going to have to figure out something on pit road to pass him, I think, just because it's so hard to pass on the racetrack here. And, he had the speed. I felt like he and I were running identical lap times, but it was gonna be impossible to pass him. So the plan was, depending on how far away from him I was, take 2 or 4 tires, whatever it was gonna take to try to leapfrog him in the pit stop and then hold him off. But it didn't end up coming to that, so we'll take it.
And then once you did make that pit stop, obviously on and off pit road pretty easily tonight, and then you were able to pull that lead out to, at the highest, I think that's 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds over Trevor Keith. During the lap traffic though, which was pretty dense here tonight, was there ever any worry that maybe you're going to get caught up behind some of these slower cars and have Trevor Keith catch up to the back of you?
Definitely, yeah. My entire goal there at the end was just to manage the gap. Obviously, 3.5 seconds. You just don't need anything, dramatic to happen. And I was okay with him catching me a bit, but looking out the windshield and seeing 12, 14 cars ahead of me, like, okay, this might get a little more interesting than I want it to. I think something happened to TK there. I don't know if somebody was trying to pit in front of him and check them up or what, but um, after that happened, it was more like 4.5 seconds, and at that point, I felt pretty comfy no matter what happened.
Right. Well, and what do you have to say just about the driving that happened tonight? Obviously we're all here for last week and saw how that race went. What do you have to say to the drivers and everyone in this race about this race here at Nashville tonight?
Great question. Yeah, huge shout out to the league. We had, I think, 38 people in this race and had 0 on track cautions, cause of caution, which, it's been a while. Last week was a rough race, with lots of cautions. And, this track kind of lends to that a little bit, but we also tweaked some rules to try to help encourage guys to keep it clean on the track. I think a combination of the racetrack and that rule change came together and did it for us. So, yeah, couldn't be happier about that.
Yeah, great race tonight. We were thrilled up here in the booth with all the side by side, 3 wide, 2 wide action. There was pockets of cars that simply would not get away from each other. So every one of these drivers can pat themselves on the back for a great show here at Nashville. But anything you want to say, shout out, thank, anything like that for this race here tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to Chapman Environmental Services. They're supposed to be on the car, but no matter what I do with trading paints, I can't seem to get it to update. So I don't know what the deal is there. At least I don't think you guys are looking at the Chapman scheme.
I am
You're looking
not.
at the. Okay, well, we finally got a win with chips on the car. That's my cat on the hood. So shout out to him.
Fantastic. Looks fast.
Yeah, well, yeah, he likes to chew on cables, so he's not allowed in here. He's just allowed on the car.
Yeah, I understand that. Having pets myself, they love to get into things they're not supposed to.
Yes,
But
they do.
awesome. Well, thank you, Rob, and congratulations here at Nashville. We'll move on to a quick commercial break here. Get the rest of your results and your second and third place finishers right after this. You have been watching the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series here from Nashville, the Music City 200, and it has been a great one. We'll be back right after this.
So Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The ball gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nashville Super Speedway, where we have just concluded 150 laps here in the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series, Music City 200. Robert Rader, your winner, 15th to 1st, after another driver falling out of the race with a connection issue. Trevor Keith comes home in 2nd. James Loveland finds himself 3rd. Tay McDonald, Jeremy Burns round out your top 5. Trevor Erhardt, good day for him. Mistake-free and solid to turn that point season around, I am sure. Grant Thorpe, bunch of 7s there in 7th position. Alex Forget finishes 9th. Justice Murphy, 8th for Forget, 9th for Murphy. Dunford in his debut finishes in the 10th spot. Michael Bennett comes home in 11th. Kevin Orlando Jr. will finish in the 12th spot tonight after gaining 14 positions. Matt Robinson, up 3, had an interesting night, hit the wall a few times, was able to bring it home in the top 15. Martin, good run, 30th to 14th. Great run for the 46. Nick Alves, down 4 to 15th where he started. Tyler Harrison, up 2 to 16th position. Chris Nail, tough night, had a bad pit road entry, made him fall back to the 17th position. Carter Linz finishes in 18th. Holloway, the Candyman, 19th, and Mick George was 20th. 21st, Dustin Reinstedel, and then Fike behind him, who was running really well, was going to have a great top 10 until he got a little bit of help. Finished 22nd. Grant Turner ran up in the top 10 before missing pit road. He will finish as the last car on the lead lap in 23rd. Kyle Diaz, first car, 1 down in 25th, right ahead of Michael Call. Brandon Richardson in the 37, he will finish 26th. Williams Sr., 27th. Al Likens, 28th. Bresnock in 29th. Parker Johnston, 30th, 2 laps down. Presley in 31st. Johnson in 32, finished in 32nd. Sirkovich, 33rd. Schaefer, 34th. Gilbert, who was leading this race and led the most laps, that 3-4-1 machine. Connection issue with about 30 laps to go caused him to not finish the race. Right ahead of Caleb Gilbert in the 40, Devin Hudgens, and myself because I clicked the wrong button. That is your 38 car field here tonight. All right, let's get down and talk to our top three, minus Robert Rader, who obviously we just saw. Let's go down and talk to Trevor Keith.
Hey there, Trevor Keith, you got us?
I got you.
Well, another week, another opportunity to talk to us here on the podium in that
I know.
15 machine. Another solid run for you. You know, qualified top 10, ran in the top 3 basically all night. What were you seeing from your end? It seemed like you had a pretty fast car, just maybe not the race winning speed tonight.
Oh yeah, I knew going in that I had really good long run speed, and I knew if I could just get the track position, I'd be okay. But it pushed a little too hard there when I took over second over Rob and burnt the stuff up, and Travis just left. Poor Travis, man. I feel so bad for that guy. He had the race pretty much won. But that's where my mistake came. I'm a little slow on pit road, too. Rob got me out of the pits on that green flag stop. Once Travis blinked out, and I was comparing lap times to me and Rob, and it just, I knew we were just too similar. I was never going to catch him. So then at that point, I was just trying to manage my stuff and bring home the P2, which we did very well. Just no mistakes. Made a lot of mistakes at the beginning of the year. Now I'm up here 3 of the last 4 weeks. We'll just forget about last week ever happened. It was an off week. We'll just say we didn't race last week. But feels really good. And I mean, I had 1 podium last year. So to be up here 3 out of the last 4 is, I mean, oof, we're on a roll.
Yeah, things have really turned fortunes over the past couple weeks there for you. And I mean, if you're going to keep doing this week in, week out, I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say you're very quickly making yourself one of the real contenders on a weekly basis here. I mean, 2 seconds and a first over the past 4 races says, I think, quite a lot. And do you think that also makes a statement to the rest of your competitors out there, knowing that they should expect to see the 15 up near the front every week?
Yeah, I think it does. I think just me not making the mistakes that I've made in the past. People will be like, watch out for the 15. If he stops making mistakes, he'll be fast. And here we are. We're getting over that. We're not making these stupid little mistakes, missing pit road, missing my pit box, getting loose and stuff like that. We're just taking care of the car, burning tires up, not making those mistakes. And it's paying off really well here. We just got to keep running mistake-free races.
Yeah, and I think that really has proven to be the case for the last couple weeks, and you're getting the dividends for it. And this hot streak started a few weeks ago for you at Sonoma, I believe.
Yes, it did.
Road course, and going next week, we've got another road course on the schedule, I suppose you could call it, with the Chicago Street Course. Do we see more of that momentum carry into the street course, or is that track such a unique entity that it's hard to tell?
Oh no, absolutely. We're looking forward to the street course. Sonoma, I called out Burns. I'm sticking with that. I'm calling out Burns. We're gonna try to beat Burns. I won an A fix last night by like 30 seconds. So
Nice.
we're hoping the hot streak continues here. We just gotta, there's plenty of room for mistakes at Chicago. It's a rough track to run, but I got some speed. There's still some speed to find there. I know I got to find more speed to beat Burns, but we're going to do everything we can to beat Burns next week.
Well, I am now super intrigued to see how that pans out. I'm excited to see the battle between the 15 and the 9 next week at Chicago. But for your second place run here tonight there, Trevor, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, we're going to shout out the teammates, Justice, Jacob, and Daniel. We work hard. Daniel and Jacob didn't have the luck, unfortunately, tonight. Neither really did Justice, but we had 2 teammates in the top 10, so that's good. We shout out KSX Racing Graphics. We make paint schemes, the 15, the 41, the 12, the 18. Thank you everybody that tuned in the stream. Jake the Snake's here. Travis was here. My buddy Zach was here. And you guys do a great job up here. Always enjoy watching the races afterwards. And then we'll thank all the league sponsors: Chapman, Ultimate Lighting, Coastal Financial, Slurp, Erhardt Homes. I might be forgetting one. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have the list in front of me, so. But everybody that makes this thing go. And then shout out the admins. We had the trouble going on at the beginning, and we had to delay the race by almost an hour, or pretty much an hour. But they found a solution, and we got the race in. So I mean, shout out to those guys for their hard work and getting that done. I really appreciate that one.
Yeah, it took a minute to get the jet dryers out here and get everything ready, but we're able to get it in here tonight and got to reap the benefits of it. But TK, congrats on the second place finish, and we look forward to seeing you in the again. Wow, I can't say a sentence right now. Seeing you again in the booth soon seems to be the norm here lately.
Yeah, we're gonna try to be here next week. So.
Alrighty, well, wishing you the best of luck, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
That is your second
that
place
was-
finisher, Trevor Keith, here at Nashville. Only one driver left on the podium, that being James Lovell in V-Speed Zone, and Alex has caught up with him.
Hey there, James, you got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, congrats on the podium finish there. I mean, you started outside the top 10 and had to work your way up through the field tonight. Was a pretty strong run for that 02 car. Talk to us a little bit about your night and what it was like trying to work your way in through the top 10 today.
Yeah, it was beginning I just felt mediocre. I was just trying to figure out the car a little bit, and it was just really hard to get track position. It was a major cluster in the beginning. Just we were all close together, battling back and forth, and only managed to get a few spots there. But once we got on that long run later in the race, my car just started to get better, and I started to run faster laps and started to figure out. And yeah, just I'm just really proud of the run I had. I mean, unfortunately, I wish I was kind of closer to the front. I probably had a shot to win with the pace I had, but you know what? I'll take a third place. It's been a very difficult season for me, so getting a first podium of the season is pretty good, and just need to get some improvement and figure this out.
Yeah, and it seems like the past couple weeks you've had a good bit of speed. I mean, for a start and stop as that New Hampshire race was last week, you did find yourself at the front of the field a good bit there in that race before things ultimately kind of fell apart a bit at the end of it. But, last week showed a good bit of speed. This week showing a good bit of speed. Are you doing anything different over the past couple weeks to get that higher level of pace? Or are things just starting to click at the right time for you?
Yeah, I mean, during the beginning of the season, I actually had an issue with my pedals, and it was screwing me up, and I figured that out, and that seemed to help a little bit. And I'm kind of just, taking the corner a little different, and I think I'm just kind of overdriving a little bit because I just want to be getting up there, getting up front, and I'm kind of changing the way I'm doing, and it seems to be working so far. So, I might just have to start being a little more aggressive and kind of get my way up to the front, and also try to figure out this qualifying because I haven't seemed to be qualifying the greatest. So yeah, well, I just got to figure out a few little things, but I mean, this is starting to be a little better than what I was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and despite the struggles that you were talking about at the start of the season, I mean, points wise, you're still in pretty good shape. In that the thick of the battle from like 5th through 10th right now, with everyone all kind of stacked together in the points here, and a third place run tonight, I think is going to go a long way for you. How do you like your odds over the next few weeks when it comes to making the playoffs? Obviously, you don't have that win to lock yourself in just yet. But at least points-wise, you're in good shape. Or is that first win coming, do you think?
Well, I really hope that first one's coming before the playoffs because after Chicago, which is next week, I will be out for a couple weeks. So I'm going to miss, I believe it's Pocono and Indianapolis. And I think, yeah. And then we have like 2 weeks off or something. So, yeah, I'm just trying to build up as much points as I can. I kind of wish I had the win tonight and didn't have to worry about that. But you know what? I mean, still for what I got tonight, it's pretty good. And yeah, I just got to build up my points and as much as I can. And after the break we have, hopefully you can come back and maybe pull off a win or even build up more points so we're ready for the playoffs.
Alrighty, well, with a solid run here today and the past couple weeks, starting to build a bit of momentum there for you. Seems like things are starting to trend in the right direction for you and that O2 team. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out while you've got a second up here in the booth?
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Finally getting the V-Speed card on the car on the podium. Hopefully we can get in the victory lane soon. Shout out to the league as always, and the league sponsor Chapman, and everybody in the league. This is a fun race tonight, and yeah, I'm hopefully we can continue this pace and get better. And also shout out to my team; they had a pretty solid night tonight.
Alrighty, well, hey, James, it's a pleasure to have you up in the booth here with us for the first time this season. It's a pleasure to see that V-Speed machine up on the podium as well. Thanks for dropping by, and we hope to see you again real soon here.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
That is your third place finisher tonight, James Loveland. Congratulations to the V-Speed car this evening. But that is about going to do it for us here tonight. Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series here from Nashville, the Music City 200. Now we take a look to next week at the Chicago Street Course. Should be a thrilling one as always. Road course racing, street course for the one time a year these cup cars get to visit that speedway. If you can really even call it that, that's really just Main Street. But it's going to be a great race nonetheless. Make sure to tune in on July 10th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, as we bring you flag-to-flag coverage all season long. And if you enjoyed the race tonight, like Alex and I did, it was a great one. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. You found it, you might as well stay here a little while longer. Don't want to miss the racing action that we have here on V-Speed pretty much every day of the week. And more content always. I've been Morgan Cook, Alex Gagnon here as my co-commentator. Got to also thank Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Bradley Cooper here at V-Speed for making this thing go round as always. Thank you, everybody, and good night. Until next week.
So Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.